Okay, hello everybody. This is a game against a 2070 something player on chess.com, okay? And I have the white pieces, and I'm going to do this while it's fresh in my mind so that we can see what we were thinking at the time. And hopefully we'll get some general ideas out of this that can help you in all of your games. All right, so I'm just playing, basic opening moves, right? Two pawns in the center, develop, and bishop g5, a pin against the knight, and my opponent chose to break the pin. And now I am getting my bishop out so he can recapture the pawn, on c4 if that happens. Develop my knight. He develops his knight to d7. And now, this is an interesting thing. I play a3, and it may be bad. And I did it for a reason. I'm anticipating c5. And then if I recapture and he captures with a piece, I'll be able to chase that piece away and gain a tempo on that piece. But I don't know. I don't have the computer evaluation here to see or know the opening to know if that's a valid try. But it ain't so bad. And so he hits my bishop. Excuse me. And what do? I back off. Yeah, big decisions here, right, with this, because he can slide into e4. And then, if I take, he has an in-between move on my knight, hitting my queen, and then I'll have to double my pawns, and then this move doesn't look so good, but it does open up the b file. So I back off, just deciding to go for that, and now he makes an interesting move, e5, and it looks like I'm going to win a pawn, but maybe not. So I take, and now he goes in for this plan, right? So I decided to not double my pawns on the c file, so I took his knight. He takes, yeah, that's interesting. He could have taken my bishop. But this plan is pretty good too. So I take, he takes with the queen, and now I slide back, hitting the undefended pawn. He recaptures the pawn, and now I hit the pawn twice. Okay, now he's got a big decision, and my first instinct is for him to try and hold on to that pawn. But he decided to play c5 and not allow me b4. So I get my pawn back, and I'm really happy about that. So he hits it twice, and now I'm building bridges. I call this the architecture of chess, right? Keep your man in there if you can, because, closer to the enemy territory, closer to his target. So I defend it twice. He's attacking it twice. I defend it twice. And now, yeah, he wants to develop his bishop, right? His knight is over there, so he wants to bring his bishop to the long diagonal. And if I castle over here, he'll be hitting this pawn. And the funny thing is, I was planning still on castling short, but I did a mouse slip. I made a mouse slip, and I castled long because I wanted to bring my rook here. So I'm anticipating the bishop coming here. And I wanted to bring my rook here because I'm going to ask you a question. It sets up, anyway, my rook's still on that file, which is what I wanted, but it was a mouse slip. So now he develops his bishop. Okay, and now a quick plug for my book. I call this an anomalous move. You look for anomalies in the position, tactics that wouldn't exist otherwise, but they do because of other tactics that are available. So the batteries, right? Your basic batteries. So I see I can check his king here with my bishop. There's an X-ray check, right? So this gives me opportunities. And because this is the reason I brought my rook here, to set up that trick, that little trap. A lure. So I bring my knight here. There's the anomalous move. I can get away with this. Can he take the knight? No. Because I get a discovered attack on his queen with my rook, and he loses his queen for the two pieces. All right, so I'm hitting his rook now. I'm also hitting his rook and the undefended bishop, right? Power move number 3, I get the tempo. Here's power move number, what is this? Little guy harassing big guy. Undefended piece number 3. This is 5. And it's a dilemma now, really, for him, because if he comes over to defend the bishop, I capture, he captures with the rook, and then I skewer the 2 rooks with my bishop. So that was probably his best option. I think he just missed the undefended piece, but I'll just show you the technique now. I mean, game over, really. I'm up a piece, and he's not going to be able to. So now it's just, me dancing around, chasing his pieces. I'll show you the rest of the game for the heck of it, but yeah. So there were things to learn there. One move out of the opening changes the texture of the rest of the game, really. So that A3 move changed how the opening was played out. All right, so I'm keeping my man in there if I can, and I'm hitting his queen. Now I'm going for full aggression. I'm up a piece, and that pawn is defended. Okay, you keep an eye on your weaknesses. And now I see a way of getting his rook on top of it, right? So he's got developmental problems still. I hit his rook. This is just for, and now I hit his other rook, and now that rook is trapped. So, and now it's game over. I take, and I win his queen. And he keeps fighting a little bit longer for no good reason, and now he resigns. Okay, I hope you got something out of it, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.